Hello friends, welcome back to Code Explorer again. Here I am Pabitra Banerjee with you, and today we are going to start a new playlist about Python programming. This playlist will not just help you to learn Python programming as a beginner. This playlist will also cover data structures and algorithms using Python. So if you are a school student or a college student, then this playlist will help you to learn Python and DSA from the beginning. And if you are a working professional or a job aspirant want to get job in IT industry, you can also follow this playlist to crack any DSA interview question using Python. So let's start the video. So first of all, Python is a high level programming language developed by Sir Guido van Rossum, who was an Dutch programmer, and he developed Python in 1991. He was working for Google a long time, but currently he is working in Microsoft. He is a very popular computer scientist in modern era. If you want to learn more about him, then go to Google and search for him. You will learn a lot about him. Okay, so let us start our today's topic, which is an introduction to Python. So I have made a presentation for you, which I will give you in the description, from where you can simply install this, you can download this, and then you can read this as well. Okay, so first of all, let us know that what is Python. So Python is an interactive, interpreted, object-oriented scripting language, and as I have already mentioned that it is an also high-level programming language. So what does this means? That means Python is an interactive programming language which is using the Python interpreter. This is not a compiler based language, and Python supports the object oriented programming. Okay, and this is an scripting language. Okay, so you have to keep in mind that. So first let us know that what is the difference between a programming language and a scripting language. So here I have taken an example of Java and Python. So Java is an programming language and Python is a scripting language. Okay, so here you can see that we have written a Java code here and we have written a Python code here. So here I have written this Java code which prints the hello world syntax in our console, and this Python code does the same work. Okay, so here you can basically understand that Python, we have to write a very small Python code to perform a particular task. Okay, here I have given that how Java defines the classes for whole of our codes and then it executes, and Python directly executes the code. Okay, and then I have made a difference between Python 2 and Python 3. Python 3 is the latest version of Python which we are currently using, and you can check this as well. Okay, now here comes the main question, that why Python. Today we have around 700 plus programming language, but why should we learn Python today? Because it is simple, it is very beginner friendly, and it supports a mature package libraries. It also supports AI machine learning, it is expandable, it is versatile and flexible, and there are many more reasons behind that we should use Python. I have written only 6 here, which are the basically main reason behind using Python. Okay, so now I want to tell you the advantages of Python programming. So Python is basically a free and open source programming language, and it improves our productivity. As I have already shown you that we have to write a very small Python code to achieve something, so it definitely increases our productivity. Okay, you can understand that. And it is an interpreted language. As I have already told you that Python is not a compiler based language, it is an interpreted language. Basically we have to install the Python interpreter, and the Python interpreter will execute the whole code. Okay, and it is dynamically typed. What is dynamically typed, what is static typed, we will discuss about this in our later videos of this playlist. And here you can see that I have vast library support. What are the libraries in Python? Basically you can go to this pypy.org, which is the official Python package index website. There you can browse anything, any project you want. Okay, so here if you want, that I have already developed Google image fetcher. If you want to check this, there you can see that Google image fetcher 2.0.0, and I developed the project basically. Okay, this is my own developed Python package. You can use this to directly fetch any image from Google search engine, and directly you can install you can download the image in your project. Okay, so there are a lots of projects in which are the, basically we can say that these are the libraries. There are a lots of libraries in Python. Okay, so you can simply use them. And then comes the object oriented. This is one of the main reasons that we should learn Python, because this is an object oriented dynamic type programming language. It will definitely help us to develop raw dust softwares and many more. Okay, and we are talking about advantages of Python. Are there no any advantages of Python? There are some disadvantages. We will talk about them now. There, the main disadvantage of Python, that is speed limitations. I think you have already heard about C, C++, or Java. These are very fast executable programming language, but Python is very slow. These also weak in mobile computing, and there are some design restrictions as well, and there are underdeveloped database layers. Okay, these are some disadvantages of Python, and there are some more disadvantages, and there are some very additional advantages of Python as well. Okay, we will discuss about these as we continue in our playlist. Okay, now I have written some web frameworks. So basically what we can do with Python, I have written them, that applications of Python here. Okay, so what are the applications of Python? Basically what you can think we can do in this software industry, in this IT industry, we can do this with Python. Basically we can use this as a web development language and IoT development. We can use Python in games and 3D graphics, software development, business applications, database access, network programming, and I have forgot to mention here that the main thing in today's world, which is AI and machine learning, blockchain technology, we can use Python there as well. Okay, so there are some more benefits to learn Python today, which will help us to be updated and in this and go to any field of related to the software industry. Okay, so here I have mentioned some web frameworks which relies on Python programming language. The main here is Flask and Django. These are very popular web frameworks relies on Python, and there are also web frameworks like Web2Py, CherryPy, Tornado, Pyramid, Bottle, Dash, Cubic Web, and many more are there. You can use them, you can learn them, and you can use them in your project. Okay, now we should learn the file extensions in Python. Basically the normal file extension for a Python source file, which is .py for Python source file. Okay, and .pyc for the compiled bytecode. What is bytecode? Why should we use these? How does those works? We will learn about them in our later videos of this playlist. Okay, then there are some more file extensions, and there are a lots of more files extensions in Python which I have not written here, but we will learn about them. Okay, you can read this for now, and I have already talked about these applications of Python, and there are popular websites which builds with Python. The Google search engine is developed using Python. The Chorus, the YouTube, Reddit, Instagram, Dropbox, Pinterest are very famous websites which is built with Python, and there are lots of very famous websites which are using Python. Okay, and now it comes to a very important topic, that how we can install Python in our machine. In this presentation I have only written for Windows, but this also works for Mac and Linux as well. Okay, so first of all, you need to go to this python.org, the official website of Python programming language. Then therefrom you have to go to simply to the download section here, and there you can see the download the latest version for Windows. Because I am in Windows 11, so this is showing me for Windows. And if you are using Mac or Linux, you can simply see that it will be shown there that Mac or Linux. Okay, then comes to this button, which is download Python 3.12.2. Okay, so you have to just simply install this. And if you are watching this video later, then you might see that there are Python 13.3, 3.13 and many more updated version of Python, but you don't need to furious about that. It's nothing, it's a more updated version of Python. You can simply install that, and the rest of the process is same, and you can simply continue to this playlist, and you will learn that what we are going to teach, what we are going to learn. Okay, so you can simply download this Python 3.12.2 from here. I have already installed Python in my machine, so I am not going to install this again. And but if you are facing any problem during this installation process, then you can simply comment it down, or you can contact with me. I will share my contact details in the description box. From there you can easily contact me. Okay, I will try to solve your issue. And now here comes another important things, that where we will write our code. So we need an IDE, which is an integrated development environment. Okay, so for that we will use Visual Studio Code. Visual Studio Code is one of the best IDE right now, and it is developed and maintained by Microsoft itself, so it is reliable and it's safe to use. Okay, and it's obviously free, and it is also an open source project, and it has integrated Git, debugging and extensions, and many more features are there. Okay, we will learn about them as well while we continue in our playlist. So here you can see three options. Basically we can download it for Windows or Linux or Mac, but you can have to see that it only supports Windows 10 or 11. So if you are using Windows 9 or Windows 7 or any older version of Windows, then you can't install VS Code in your machine. So I will also say that how you can write Python codes in that machine as well. So please stay tuned in this video. And if you are using Linux, then you can install this, and if you are using Mac OS, then you can install from here. Okay, it depends on your operating system. So if you don't have this, or if you don't have any laptop, if you are using mobile phone, so then you can also write Python codes there. So for that I will recommend you to go to this website, which is replit.com, and according to me, this is one of the best IDE and this is one of the best platform to write and practice your codes. And if you have installed VS Code for your laptop, I will also suggest you to create an account on Replit. This is not any paid promotional video, but I am suggesting this for because this will help you, because if you want to code anytime, then you can do that. Okay, so how you can use this? So here you have to first sign up. Here I have already signed in my account, so you have to just simply click on this create REPL button, and from there you can choose this what you want to write. If you want to write JavaScript code, then you can select this Node.js. If you want to write C program, then you can select C. If you want to write C++, Java, or whatever you want, you can simply search here. Okay, for now we are going to use this Python, so let us give a name of this file. So let me give hello world, and now click on this create REPL button. This will take some moment and it will create your REPL. Okay, REPL is like your project. So here first we will write the main thing, which is the base building block of learning any programming language, to print the hello world statement in our console. So how we can write that? For Python we have to just simply write print, and then we have to give this, and then we have to write hello world. Okay, and now how we can run this file? So we have to just simply click on this run button here, and you can see that it's running. It can take some moment. Okay, it's working. You can see that it has took 149 millisecond. Okay, this is why I have already told you that this is one of the major problem of Python programming, which is speed limitations. Okay, Python is a very slow programming language. So here you can see that hello world has been printed successfully on our console. Okay, so I think you have understood that how we can do this. Now come to this PPT again, and here I have given you the step-by-step process to install Python in your local machine. So you can simply install, you follow this, and if you faces any problem during installation process of VS Code or Python, then please comment down or contact with me. I will try to sort that. Okay. Now here is the main thing, that how Python runs. As I have already told you that Python is not any compiler based programming language. Python is a interpreted based language. Okay, so that means the Python source code directly goes to the Python interpreter. What is inside the Python interpreter? There is a compiler and there is a virtual machine. Okay, for this virtual machine, basically Python becomes slow. Okay, so how does this works? I think you have already the knowledge of C or Java or C++ or whatever programming language, any static language or any compiler based language, then I think you know that those particular programming language use an compiler to compile the whole source code, and then it creates an .exe file, which is the executable file of your program, and then it executes by running the .exe file. Okay, so for Python, the code doesn't run like that. Here we don't need to create any .exe file. The Python interpreter basically runs the whole Python source code directly line by line. Okay, this is the basically main difference between an compiler or an interpreter. Okay, we will learn about those in details in this playlist, so don't need to worry about this now. So I think you have understood that the source code directly goes to the interpreter first. There we have a compiler which converts the source code to a bytecode, and then it goes to virtual machine. And if we import any library module from this pypy.org, which I have already shown you using this pip. What is pip? We will learn about that in this playlist as well. So if you uses that, then it also added to the virtual machine, and then it runs the code. Okay, and then I have written a very basic thing which is data types. We will learn about this in our next video. So stay tuned and stay safe. Happy coding.